Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. Didn't really work as good. There we go.
This is like the 10th time I've heard this song this weekend. Yeah.
Happy freaking Monday. How do I stop this thing? You know what? Just always
Apologies to all our
yeah.
apologies to all the
Just take the
viewers that
plug
have
out.
sensitivity to strobing lights.
Woo! I just had to take the plug out. I didn't know how to turn it off. It's the first time I tried to operate that. Hold on. Hit the lights. Get the lights.
Hit the lights!
Hit the lights. Lights. Yeah.
There we go.
Welcome in, everybody. I thought the light effect would be better, but oh my god.
No.
It fought its way back on.
You cannot kill the greatness that is Alice DJ's Better Off Alone.
I am no longer in control of the program. Obviously, Better Off Alone has supplanted me.
As if we were ever in control.
No, certainly not. Man, that thing is a hell of a thing, though. Hold on. I'm coming right back. I just freaking.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thanks for being here on a Monday. We do appreciate this. While Ronnie tries to get a little sense of normalcy in his tech there.
I wasn't ready for the strobes. There was pyrotechnics and things like that. No, to answer the CEO, I borrowed the strobe. Okay, so this was done on a cheap. No problem.
We should have gotten the AEW pyro guy to help us set up.
The Big Bang! Hashtag suck it, Nats. I agree. But last I saw, they were putting a good whipping on the Knicks. Patrick Ewing is not walking through that door, at least without getting jacked up by security 8 times. And even then, I don't think he can play for you guys anymore. But
true.
Thank you for joining us. Lots to talk about. It was a good weekend. As we get into, also we had Selection Sunday. So once again, I cannot stress that enough. And I will be playing this throughout the show. But join the group. Get in there. I don't know where I put the fabulous prize. Prize made up by Fabulous.
Prize not fabulous.
We're playing for one of these. You get you one of these. You boys gonna win state?
Get you one of these.
Right here. This is what we're playing for.
And memories.
I don't feel 17. It's literally a one of a kind. Beauty of a t-shirt. And again, thank you, Nick, for your generous
Yes, Yahoo. The ID is what? 24638. No password needed. No entry fee needed.
24638. St. John's. But thank you for joining us. Sorry, I was trying something new, but obviously I don't know how to handle that thing yet. So maybe a little off-screen practice would be in order. Tyler, how was your weekend? How was your Monday? And how fired up are you right now for this bracket challenge and just really the tournament in general? I would say
I'm jacked up about it. In a horrible impression, but no, it was a good weekend. Did a bit of choring, a lot of sports watching.
Get
at her. But yeah, it's not a bad weekend. Looking forward to of course NCAA tournament starting up with the first 4 on Thursday, which that is a bit weird. But no, all in all, solid weekend. Ronnie, how about you?
Pretty good weekend. A lot of sports watching. I didn't get to catch any of the UFC. Unfortunately, that was the.
How dare you?
The one thing I missed out on, the fight night. I know. I'm sorry. But got to see a lot of the golf, the NASCAR, or at least the end, the last maybe 50, 60 laps. And what came on after the NASCAR, which was pretty impressive. A lot of good soccer. We had Chivas and America last night. Not a great game. Yeah. Chivas, you suck. You're boring. They got boat raced at home, but it was kind of funny to watch that. And did a little golf on Saturday. I usually don't golf on the weekends, but I found a place up in Carlsbad that this was the guy in front of me. So it's probably like the most chill golf course I've ever been to. It's a par 3, 18 holes. Probably the longest hole out there, maybe like 180 yards, maybe. But A lot of surfer bros, people just out there to have a good time, parents with children. The person in front of me was a dad with his, I want to say maybe like 4, maybe 3-year-old son. So he was not really, really grasping it. They made it about 5 holes. On the second hole, he was like, "Hey man, sorry. Like, if you want to go ahead," I'm like, "Nah, you're good, dude. Whatever." And the kid, I could already see, was about to be done. The dad was like, "I don't know what I got into here."
Golf is not for the kids, that's for sure.
Well, you just got to have a little bit more. Like, what are we doing here? Like, they head over the water on I think the 5th hole. You head over this little creek, and the kid just hits it like 6 feet straight into the water, whatever. And the dad,
what I do.
It's like a 70, it's like a little pitch shot over, and the dad, he hits the green or near it, and the kid's like, "Why didn't you hit in the water? I really wanted you to hit in the water. That would have been awesome." Like, come down and hit in the water with me. But this former hippie guy, he's probably a millionaire too, because it's Carlsbad, Encinitas area. As far as I know, I see these guys in the bank all the time. But I almost nailed this guy. I almost killed him. I mean, I don't think his Kangol hat would have saved him, nor would that gray mane have saved him. I buzzed the tower. I felt really bad because I hit it kind of like the Mitch Hedberg, like, there ain't no way that's going to hit him. But I hit it, and it went up into the, like, right as the sun's going down, so I lost it. And then I see this guy, like, ducking. I'm like, my bad, guy. Like, I'm always a guy to yell. Even if I don't know if it's going to be close, I'll yell. And he's like, "No, it's all good. Don't worry about it." But the next hole, I find a cell phone in the middle of the fairway sitting on top of a scorecard. It was this guy's phone. So he bought me a beer afterwards.
Nice.
Call it a day. So it's a course for the people if you get up there.
There we go.
To Carlsbad. But let's get into the odds and ends. And as you know, now it's time for the side pieces. So smooth. So smooth. This one's not even really a story. I just thought it was funny because I woke up. And also it's just funny that there is actual college football going on right now.
Yeah.
But Coach Prime, Jackson State, and I when I saw it was Jackson State, I was like, oh, I have to take a picture of Dion coaching on the sidelines, and they were going to show shots of him anyway. I was like, I'll just wait for a penalty, and I'm sure he's going to be mad, and they're going to show him to see how he reacts. So you can see it's a false start. His backwards upside down visor and chain. Do not like that. No, you don't do that on Coach Prime's team.
That's right.
But I was just entertained to see him out there. He looked good. I don't even know what the outcome was. I think they were favored. They're 2-0, and Mississippi Valley that was their first game of the season. So
I also love that you said you were going to wait for that, and then it happened 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, no, it was a slow start.
Didn't even have to wait that long. Didn't have to wait long for it.
Well, at that early feeling out stage, I gotta say, Valley's defensive line was causing problems. There was a lot of holdings, false starts. They were in that backfield. I don't even know the outcome, but it was just entertaining to see Coach Prime. I wish him well in his coaching endeavor. Nobody can hate on Dion.
True.
Yes, exactly. Wesley Snipes and Demolition Man. I'm trying to give off that vibe. I want the players to respect me. That's Demolition Man. And this, I mean, again, is not really I hesitate to say a side piece because a great one did pass away, as you saw my sign there. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Still, it's kind of early on. Just his wife actually posted on one of his social media things that he had passed away over the weekend. This guy was just a beast. I mean, at the time, Tyler and I were talking about it before the show in the early 80s, late 70s, into the mid 80s. The middleweight division was just stacked full of guys. I mean, in between Leonard's like 8 retirements that he had or whatever. But just so many good guys. And if you only go back, I mean, this guy had a great career. I think he had defended his title for 8 years straight or something crazy.
He held it for 6 straight years.
There you go. So one of the longer reigns that you're going to see. and just a beast of a fighter. But do go back and watch, because the whole thing's only about 18 minutes of the most insane boxing you will ever see. Hagler Hearns. Oh my
Oh
God.
God, yeah,
If you
that's a war.
every time I watch a Rocky movie, it's just like guys just haymakers, taking them, throwing them the entire time. This fight is actually that. Like it is a real title fight that was just like a Rocky movie.
Yeah. That I went back and watched it. Yeah, it's lasts I think a minute and a half into round 3, and it is just nonstop. Two dudes just standing, throwing. It's a fight more than a boxing match.
It's
Um,
crazy. I mean, that was one of the, he used to, I mean, notoriously his conditioning, he never really was out of shape ever during his
no, never.
career. I mean, there was no like, oh, he got fat, he's going to have to take like 9 months to get back. And no, he was always like super disciplined with the training. The videos, you can look up on YouTube of him like training, just going for runs with the hat that just says war on it. He's like running around
Yeah.
like yelling, war! Like, this guy was just a savage. And just his fighting style was like, you cannot get him off of you. So, um, Leonard kind of confused him, and it was still a pretty controversial fight as far as the judging.
Robinson.
Huh?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Oh,
Robinson,
yes.
not Leonard.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, happens to be all the time. Don't worry.
Sugar Ray, yes. One of the other Sugar Rays.
Yes. Not Mark McGrath.
But that fight is just one of the most on-tilt fights I have ever seen in my life. No password.
Oh, there is no password. Just punch in the ID and hit submit. It'll take you through.
And yes, there's the ID. 24638. Please believe that. No password needed. But tell your friends. Join in if you want a chance at winning a literally one-of-a-kind shirt.
Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Tell strangers. Tell everybody. But
anyone.
No, yeah. You're right. I mean, I was going to talk about it a little bit later on the Fight Doctor, but I mean, yeah, we get it now. Just that '80s middleweight scene with him, Sugar Ray Robinson, Roberto Duran, and Thomas Hearns. Just 4 dudes at the prime of their game that were all, kind of at the time like the pound for pound best. And what's so different about then and now is, man, those guys did not avoid each other. They were like, look, all right, you think you're the best, I think I'm the best. Let's settle it. It's not like today where you got 2 or 3 guys that are out there and just kind of avoid each other until maybe one takes a loss, and then okay, well now I feel comfortable fighting him. But yeah, just real check. I mean, this dude is just one of the all-time greats, and like Ronnie was saying, his work rate was just you couldn't match it.
Crazy.
He was just unreal. Just never got tired. Threw for all the rounds, all 15 rounds as they fought back then. Definitely, tragic that he's gone, but definitely go back, watch his fight with Hearns. Watch any of his fights, man. He was not a boring fighter at all.
No, definitely not a boring fighter. And the Hearns one is like an all-time, just of whatever, regardless of weight class. I mean, that's an all-time fight, because Hearns was just going right at him the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, if he was like, I got to get this over with quick, or otherwise I don't have a chance, or whatever. But he opened up a huge cut on Hagler's head, like in the first round. In the second round, it's like all over his face. And they go to the corner at one point, and he goes to the, his corner man. He's like, no, don't, I'm fine. And he's like, he's fine, let him go. It's just like all of it. And then he just like wrecks this guy. I mean, just
that was one thing that Hagler said. He said, like, during the third round, he realized the cut was so bad. He goes, I just got to finish this now. And then he goes out and puts the guy down in the third round and wins the fight. I mean, it was just unreal.
You could see Hearns in the second round. He's doing kind of like chicken legs, chicken arms even. He's like kind of like backwards at some point. Like, that's not the way you defend yourself in boxing, which is a sport of defense. But they were just wailing. Like, I have never seen an actual real fight that wasn't in a movie like that. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, for real.
Couple little NFL nugs, as Justin announced earlier today. We do have Yannick Ngakoue. That's good, I guess. So I mean, we gotta add guys to that defense. That's for damn sure. Still many pieces away, but I guess I'm encouraged by that. 2 years, $26 million, not a long term. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not gonna like kill you. But I am excited for that, so I'll take that. Chargers also, as you know, we're also the Chargers show of record. Tyler, they get the big signing of the centerpiece.
Yeah, excited about that. That's the guy that just anchored the line in Green Bay for the last few years. So I'm definitely excited about that. He's going to be the highest paid center. He deserves it. I'm good with it, especially with a young quarterback back there in Herbert. I'm absolutely thrilled with that signing.
Once you get okay, this is our guy. We can already tell like this is going to be our guy. We hit on this quarterback. Everything's good indications that he's got that locked down for a while. You got to protect him. We see Russell Wilson running for his life behind a bunch of random guys trying to block for him, and now he's like beefing with the team and he wants out. So nip that in the bud and protect your quarterback, especially your young quarterback. And the Patriots making all kinds of uncharacteristically big moves. Boom, going hard today. Going hard in the paint. Woo! 150 almost million in the what they call the legal tampering period of the NFL. Now that you're officially allowed to tamper.
Right.
But look, they got Cam back. Like I said, it doesn't preclude them from still drafting a quarterback or signing another one. I mean, they got him at 16 million, 14. Not a bad deal for the team. And they had a lot of guys opt out, so we see some guys come back this year. Could be a different look team. Now everyone's looking up at the Bills and Bruce Smith in that division. But Patriots, not going down without a fight. So not really surprised.
I almost feel like Belichick is just he's Michael Jordan at this point in time. Brady goes and wins a Super Bowl ring, and he took that personally.
And I took that personally.
So they go out today. They signed tight end Jonnu Smith out from Tennessee. They signed your boy Nelson Aguilar. They signed him.
Yes. I hope they
signed Kendrick.
Hands mysteriously disappear once again when he gets to that cold weather again.
That's right. They signed another wide receiver, Kendrick Bourne from the Niners, and they signed probably the biggest one is outside linebacker Matt Judon from Baltimore. So I mean, they're Patriots uncharacteristically making big moves in the offseason. Normally they just kind of like sign who the fuck is this guy, and then he turns out to be a all-star for one season and then leaves and never does anything again. So different moves from Belichick, but kind of interesting. You were kind of wondering like now that Brady's gone, is anybody going to want to go to New England? And it turns out, people still do want to go there.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick, this is like his "I ain't dead yet" move. So. And especially now, he's extra salty because Brady got his without him. So he's got to clap back any way he can. I do want to briefly cut away because, as you know, we are the Grill Cam show of record on any network. We invented the Grill Cam. We do have a Grill Cam operator, Andy, over there sizzling up. Looks like we got some kebabs going.
Okay.
Like, hear that sizzle. Hear that sizzle. You know what? I'm gonna take that on a wide shot. Yes, there we go. A little sausage action. So I'll be smelling that during the show, which is cruel, but I'll get to eat some afterwards. So
you're doing criminal, boss.
Don't feel too bad for me. But shout out to the Grill Cam operator, assistant producer Becca, and the grill operator, assistant producer Andy. Thank you guys.
Very nice. Very nice.
We'll check on that a little bit later when I'm eating it. And I think that's all I had as far as the side news here. Oh, actually, this was a good side news that Tyler brought up. Oh, man. Buffalo and the Sabres. Look, they're having a great love affair right now with the Bills. It's a good time to be a Bills fan. But the Sabres, not so much. And this is a Buffalo newspaper, ranked them below a team that does not yet exist. The Seattle expansion team. What a shots fired from your own city's newspaper. Like, you guys suck. You deserve to be below an expansion team. That's gotta sting.
Yeah, I saw that and just I don't like taking don't like taking pot shots at bad teams, considering that Ryan and I both support a bad hockey team right now. But I guess we also got to take the pot shots where we can because our team sucks. So take the shots of the team that are lower than you.
We're above the bottom 28. So
true.
We're at least 27 or better.
I think the Ducks might be 27. I'm not. I wouldn't
Well,
be surprised.
I'm
But
glad that it's cut off right here, so I don't have to see if they are.
yeah, that's got to be a tough look, being ranked beneath a team that hasn't officially played a game yet.
That is pretty bad, and that's coming from your hometown fans.
Woo!
Yeah, well, the NHL's run into these issues, shall we say, before of overexpansion. But Belichick, Gary Bettman, he, yeah, I was still in Belichick mode. He's a big fan of just expanding at all costs, and you can see the similarities there. The sunshine has always been our enemy. Direct quote, Gary Bettman.
Oh, jeez.
So we'll see what happens. I am happy for Seattle. I think Seattle could support a team. I mean, hopefully they have a good, decent start. When they come out, definitely help the situation in Vegas. But that was their first big league team, so that helped. And then the fact they had a good team right out of the gate always helps, especially if it's an area that's not super hockey crazy. If you put the team in Quebec or something, everyone's going to go. But hopefully they get off to a decent start, and maybe we'll see what happens if they get a basketball team back. That would be cool too.
They will. Seattle fans are pretty loyal and get behind their teams pretty hardcore. I mean, obviously you've seen the Seahawks, the Sonics had a pretty good following for a while. They still have Mariners fans, which is amazing. They even still have fans. The Sounders always got good attendance. So I mean, they got good fans up there in the Northwest.
So yeah, I'm happy for them. I think that's a market that will work for the NHL. You can have some kind of geographic rivals up there, Vancouver. It's not just the all Canadian division, that sort of thing.
Right. Right.
So that should work out pretty well. But let's and maybe kind of a transition. We know they support the heck out of that soccer team, and that's been wildly successful. And they are also rivals with Vancouver in soccer. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's get on to the soccer. Little Premier League over the weekend. Our beloved West Ham. Well, they really were just playing to not get scored on, and it was just too late by the time they tried to score.
To be fair, Man U did not score on them.
That is true.
Out there. All Craig Dawson does is score headers from the box. The problem is he was never in Man United's box the whole game.
Yeah, it was pretty much a bunker game, which I was talking to Tyler. We were watching the game, obviously. I guess it's probably a little easier to try to pull that off when there's no fans. It's definitely hard to do that when you're on the road with, stadium full of 80,000 people. Different mistakes happen. Guys can't hear each other. Whatever happens. And Man United, look, let's be honest, they are a better team. I think Tyler and I both agreed that maybe Cyber Moyes just gave him a little too much respect as far as not just waiting a little too long to go for it. And then at that point, it was just too late. Yes, they couldn't play Lingard because that you can't play against the team he's being loaned from. And also, what's his name? I'm spacing on his name now. Was not able to play the Spaniard. No, Lanzini actually when.
No. I'm sorry, he was at Fornals. Fornals didn't play.
Fornals, yeah. So he didn't have the first choice attacking guys that he probably would have had in there right from the jump. But Lanzini and Benrahma, when they came in, they at least West Ham. I was like, man, how does it feel to just have the ball? It's kind of got to be nice, right? Because before that, it seemed like pretty clearly the directive was just, all right, only Antonio's allowed to cross midfield. Just punt it to him. Just look down the field, just kick it as hard as you can, and hopefully you can just run to it. But as we saw, they were hanging on, and then they end up scoring an own goal on themselves, and just not enough attacking juice.
Yeah, it was just I'm not mad that they lost to Man U. I'm just mad at the tactics. I kind of wish they would have gone for it. They played one of the better games against City a couple weeks ago, and they did it by playing their normal routine of defend when we have to, but let's attack when we can. And Moyes just decided to just not do that at all against United. I don't know if it's because Lingard didn't play. But so, that was kind of frustrating, but you know what, whatever. That's done. Hopefully they can, get back in form against Arsenal this upcoming week, which actually that's a good transition.
That is a nice transition.
Arsenal, Tottenham, Arsenal getting the 2-1 win, but kind of the bigger story of the game was Tottenham's Eric Lamela came into the game after Son got hurt. One of their star players, Heung-min Son, gets hurt. Lamela comes in, and his first shot on actually Tottenham's first shot on goal. Lamela just did something spectacular. I think Ronnie has a little video package of it, actually.
I do have a little video. I always like to see these montages. Goal of the year candidate for sure. We'll get into the adventurous day that Lamela had throughout. I mean, coming on as a sub, scoring what you're about to see is probably one of the goals of the year. But one of my favorite things about soccer when I became a fan was I would listen. Sometimes you're just not going to get a highlight in English. Like if it's a game that wasn't on TV here. Now it's a little more open where you see a lot of the top leagues with English broadcasts here. If you have cable, or there are ways, entertainment purposes only, to watch these games. But one of the best things is even if you don't know what is being said, if it's in Portuguese or whatever, like what that sound means. Someone just pulled something right out of their butt that was insane, and it's just like so impossible to do against like really good elite world class players. So I threw together a little montage of the Lamela goal heard round the world for your viewing pleasure.
Reguilón screaming for it at the backside of the penalty area. Here he is, first time ball in. Lucas, nice touch. Lamela. Oh goodness, what a goal! Is that a Rabona? Extraordinary from substitute Eric Lamela.
Cette opportunité de mettre le ballon dans la surface.
Oh, le centre de Bale, la remise de Reguilón. Lucas avec Lamela. Oh, c'est quoi ce but? L'aspiration géniale. Oh, c'est un des buts de l'année. Le coup du foulard de Lamela.
يلعب الكرة طويلة جارد بيل في مناطق الجزاء، كرة خطيرة ملعوبة صعبة جدا. لوكاس ورصة وخطيرة، والهدف الأول العالمي من إريك لاميلا. إريك لاميلا يسجل هدف للتعادل.
O Lacazette está a fazer o bloqueio, espaço para tirar este cruzamento muito longo até Reguilón, que precisão. Reguilón, Lucas Moura, atenção a Lamela, gol entra! Inacreditável o que é que acabou de acontecer!
Levanta la pelota para Reguilón, es buena para Lucas Moura, le queda a la derecha, de Rabona, ¡gol! ¡Gol! ¡Pero qué golazo! Para guardar toda la vida en el clásico del norte de Londres. ¡Qué golazo hizo Coco Lamela! Valió la pena esperar hasta hoy para su primero de la temporada de Rabona.
Woo! That's one of those ones that you can't be mad at. It's just so unlikely that would even happen. Yeah, Lamela's a interesting character, shall we say. I feel like he's been on Tottenham like forever, and it's just never quite never quite popped. And Arsenal did come back and win the game, but in that moment, one of my favorite things ever, as you know, we are the Arsenal fan trolling show of record.
Oh, mate.
One of my favorite things that they do in England is these like fan cams. Not just Arsenal, but Arsenal's is usually the most entertaining because it's usually something bad happening to Arsenal. And you get a bunch of like hardcore fans. You have to win to get on this, or just the recurring people that are always on these because they're entertaining with their reactions, whatever. As that went in, Arsenal TV they were distraught. As you know, they were down at that point. It was the first shot of the game for Tottenham.
Heat out of the game. Oh no! Relax.
Shit.
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh!
Fucking hell! The man who came on for Son.
Yeah, man who came on for Son. That's their first shot that they've had.
First shot.
Did you just see what I just?
Fucking hell! Moments before that, they were celebrating that Son was not going to be able to continue and play the rest of the game So they're like, oh, I'll take our chances with Lamela. And then he comes in and scores a miracle goal. And just anytime, Arsenal fan tears, they make me strong. I feed off them. But definitely just a funny moment. And just to put a button on that, as far as the adventurous times of Eric Lamela, subbed on after 20 minutes due to injury, scores that goal about 10-ish minutes later. So, miracle goal. Then proceeds to get 2 yellow cards and get ejected with like 15 to 18 minutes left in the game. So, for that 45 minutes, though, he was all action. Everything good and bad that happened for Spurs was all him.
I believe Raj Bennett called that the Argentinian Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yes, the Argentinian Gordie Howe hat trick, which is the most perfect way I could possibly describe that. But have a day, Eric Lamela.
Have a day.
Have a couple days off now because you're suspended.
Yeah, true.
But just interesting out there. Real quick before we got off the soccer, we do have Champions League coming up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Man City really playing well right now. You saw over the weekend. It was Fulham, but Fulham is actually playing really well right now.
They're in good form, yeah.
Saving their lives right now. But I don't really see a problem with Mönchengladbach. Try to say that correctly.
Very nice. Very good. Yes.
Real Madrid versus my beloved Atalanta. Don't really have high hopes, but Atalanta, that's my career mode team in FIFA right now. So I gotta represent for them. And Real Madrid is I think they're just looking a little old right now. I think they're gonna have to throw out some money and bring in some more young studs, but still certainly a better team. And then Wednesday, Chelsea at Atletico. Atletico in Stamford Bridge, but I still think Atletico's a better team. Chelsea is good, but that is probably the best of these 4 games, the one I'm looking forward to the most. And then the juggernaut that is Bayern at home against Lazio.
I would agree that man for man Atletico is a better team, but Chelsea hasn't lost in 15 straight games. So they're in good stride now against with their new manager. So
sucks for Pulisic because he can't get on the field. The team's playing good, and he hasn't been a part of it. So you're just gonna stay on the bench.
Hey, come over to West Ham, dude. I'm just saying.
If you don't want your Russian owner all up in the videos, come to Man U.
That's right.
But always, nice at this stage of Champions League. You're going to get good games, a lot of good players on all the teams involved. Definitely looking forward to that Chelsea Atletico game, though, just to see what happens there. And in a weirder way, see how many goals Bayern's going to push across against Lazio. How many is Lewandowski going to get? 7, 8, 9? I don't know.
As long as he plays, it'll be at least 2.
At least 2,
just putting him in the lineup is worth 2 goals.
Just start him at 2, and then you just start the game at 2-0. Or maybe, start the other team with spot them 2. And then,
there you go,
then it would be fair. Kind of like a handicap match.
Try and make it fair, yeah.
But that was the action there for the soccer and what's coming up ahead. I don't know. We've got to get this guy in here. I don't even know how to wedge him in here. But Tyler sent me this picture. It's amazing. I love this guy.
That is there's no words to I think tears went down my face the first time I saw this picture. That is just
the flow
is beautiful.
The buzz.
Yeah, the waterfall down the back and the shape of Texas carved in the side. Just
the Oakley blades with the Thunderbolt arms.
Oh my God!
What is not to love? Nothing. That's the answer. The answer is nothing.
You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like.
That's exactly right. And real quick, let's hit on the NASCAR. We had the Instacart 500. I do like that name. It's a close runner-up to the Dixie Vodka 400. But as a former, current Instacart contracted employee, it held a special place in my heart. Harvick was hanging in there, towards the end, but didn't have enough to get over the hump. And a lot of big names up there all day. Yeah, Truex also no slouch. So although Harvick always runs well at Phoenix, Truex, like I said, he's not a bum. He's not just like a random jobber guy. Like, boy, I don't know where I saw it on a car the other day on the license plates. Dude owns dealerships. Remember that guy Boris said?
Yeah,
he was like floating between like the Cup, or I guess at that point would have been, I don't know. It's changed hands so many times. He was in the Truck Series. They would always bring him up. He would always be in the Cup for road races because he was like one of the better road drivers. But there's those guys, and then like Truex is not one of those guys. He's like a top 10 guy all the time. So not totally surprised or disappointed with the outcome. Good for him, and I think that means every race this year has been won by a different driver so far.
I was just going to say that we've had different winners at every race, so definitely a lot different than last year with the Harvick Hamlin dominant. Neither guy has won a race so far this year, although I think they're still both top 6 in points right now.
They're not like just starving. I mean, it's a long season, but yes, the Harvick Hamlin block, BLOC, that we saw last year, like the communist block. We haven't gotten quite to those levels just yet. But stay tuned. Harvick's going to pop one here soon.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And that takes us over to the players. JT getting it done.
Nice.
Getting it done after a huge weekend. He went 64 and 68 on Sunday, 64 on Saturday. I mean, they call it moving day for a reason. But when you come out with that score on a Saturday, it really puts the pressure on everyone because they know, like, this guy's coming. He's hot right now. And if I slip up, like, he's just in such a groove. Like, I can't – your margin for error goes way down. So he kept that up with the 68 on Sunday. Nice to see him get a win. Feel bad kind of in a way for Lee Westwood. I know the Baron doesn't. But just always a bridesmaid. Lee Westwood just can't quite just not over that hump. I mean, I think his best finish in a major is second, I think, in a Masters. Never won one. He's not even on the PGA anymore. I think he's on the European Tour now. But kind of a bummer for him because he was very close. But he could not close the deal. But JT really just took control of it. He had an eagle on 11 on Sunday. And that was really like not exactly the backbreaker, but it was the beginning of the backbreaking. He started getting up on people, and you see that eagle roll in. And you could see in the clip there, opened at plus 1,800. So if you had JT, have a fun week with all the money. Maybe send some over here.
Yeah, right.
Throw it all. I'm flipping it all on tournament bets.
There we go.
And nice, safe 17 at Sawgrass is the island hole. So it's all, it's just basically like, don't go in the water. Whatever you do not go in the water, and you're good. So especially on Sunday, if you're in the lead. On 18, his tee shot, he wasn't just super going for it. He had a 2-shot lead, but it was a little close and almost went in the water twice on one shot. First off the bounce, then it rolled back in, got kind of saved on the bounce. And then everything slopes to the water, so it almost rolled back in. But I like the like the delayed club twirl that he has here in this video from the fans. Hey. All right.
Of course, you got to have that asshole that as soon as there's contact, get in the hole!
Get in the hole! No, dude, it's not going in the hole.
It's a par 5 shot. Oh, yeah.
That was one of the greatest shots I've ever seen. It actually did get in the hole. I think I did that. Did you see that? I said that.
Tee shot that went 540 yards.
Maybe DeChambeau's.
He might be able to pull it off.
Him and Westwood did have a chance just to tie, going for 2. But, I mean, you had to go for the hole at that point, which was right there on the water on the other side.
Right.
Both came up short. DeChambeau played pretty good as well. But happy for JT. And that delayed club troll, like I said, it just made me laugh. I saw this tweet. One of us. One of us. All the rest of us, like, ooh, man, that might be real bad or it might be great. Hey, let's flip the club. But that was exciting to see. Also, this is one thing I just promised Tyler that I would show. After the NASCAR race went off, Fox here in San Diego did a join in progress, previously scheduled programming thing. Wasn't really paying attention. I just looked up just in time to see this. So I was kind of setting up some things here in the studio. This is a real sport, and I'm into it. We are going to be, whatever this is called, show record.
We now join our previously scheduled programming already in progress.
Welcome back to Kutai in Austria, where the sport is natural track luge. Old friends meet in the first semi-final. Fitness and Clara versus Krishna.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm in.
The second and the first run, and they're now struggling with the same turn on the blue track as they
Say no more. Fan for life.
Yes, a simultaneous luge.
I like that.
None of this fancy Olympic level, runs. No, hay bales.
That's not a sport of the people. This is the sport of the people.
Yeah, this is NBC doesn't want you to see that. This is where the real competitors are at.
No, they really don't. They really don't. They can't get the insurance to run this. Actually,
yeah, it's probably liability reasons. They don't want to show someone die on TV. But I thought it was pretty impressive.
I'm in on that. I'm all about luge is already cool, but give me that side by side so I can really tell who the winner is.
Yeah, let's just run it straight. I mean, it's like a drag race. Who wants it more? Before we do get into the fight doctor, we have some fights. Obviously, we had the news there, unfortunately, about Hagler earlier, but and then some other beyond UFC news. Got to throw this up on the screen one more time. Please do hit up the Yahoo Fantasy ID 24638. No password required. Join up if you do want to get this shirt. It has not been marinating outside, also, as CEO Nick alluded to. I brought it from the inside. I'm not going to damage, the fabulous prize. May not be fabulous. Before it is given away. But
it's actually kept in a trunk by a guy wearing white gloves. It's like the Stanley Cup.
Exactly. Yeah. Wherever it travels, there's a guy with it all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's his only job.
Yep.
And as far as I know, it may have been at the bottom of Chris Chelios' pool. I'm not sure. But anyway,
we don't know. I can't say.
There's a lot of legends about this shirt.
Kids have been baptized on the shirt. We don't know.
The shirt has been a lot of places. Some that you do, and some that you definitely don't want to know. But I'll make sure it's clean before I ship it out to the lucky winner. Now Tyler sent me this from the Circa Sportsbook.
Oh my God, that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
And I mean, I've been waiting to get to this sports book. If you're not aware of what the Circa is, it is like a monument, not even to sports, to sports books. What they've done there. It's a 3-story, it looks like almost like a Fox Theater in there. Like it's
an amphitheater, like you would expect to see an opera show there.
What better place? And they have an outdoor one where your booth is a pool. Like everyone's booth is individual pools. It's amazing. I cannot wait to go there. Unfortunately, I will not be able to go for this tournament. But man, just look at that. How does that not, get you a little moist right there? Whew.
Yeah, like that screen is probably, how big would you say? Because I mean, I kind of crop down the photo because this was taken from a tweet. Like there's more lines above this than been cut off.
Yeah, I'll see if I can grab another picture here before the end of the show. But I do want to get to the fight doctor here, as we do have big fight news. We had a UFC over the weekend, and news as we go forward with the UFC as well. So it is time, as always, to bring in the fight doctor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. The heavyweight champion of the world.
Fight doctor.
Woo! Yeah.
Always gets me fired up.
Right. So we did have a fight night over the weekend. Well, I thought a weird card because of a couple results, but entertaining overall. Definitely was not bored with any of the fights. Wish we could be joined by the fight phlebotomist Justin, but he's having issues with the weather there.
It was his beeper went off, and he had to do some emergency phlebotomy.
Yeah,
I don't know what that entails, but
rough weekend for his predictions. I'm not going to shed on him too hard because Lord knows I've been there. I've had those 0 for predictions. He was 0 for 3 with one that didn't count, I guess you would say. But in the business we call that prediction malpractice. But hey, he'll bounce back. Justin knows what he's talking about.
That is true. Don't get sued.
But so we had the main event between Leon Edwards and Bilal Muhammad. The fight winds up ending in a no contest due to an eye poke. I will give fair warning. There's a picture we're going to bring up on the screen very shortly that kind of shows how bad the eye poke was. I mean, you got to know if it's bad enough to stop a fight, it's going to be bad. These are guys that get hit in the face for a living. So if an eye poke is going to down this guy, but it was definitely accidental eye poke. So if you're sensitive to eye things, look away right now. But this was what happened to Bilal Muhammad. I mean, you could see he was on the ground, rolling around, screaming. He was crying blood. Which again, I'll just give you the idea. But unfortunately, that fight got stopped in the second round. Edwards, if you can look away now, the picture's off the screen. But Edwards was kind of dominating the fight up until then. Muhammad kind of started to find his ground in the second round before that happened. But it's bringing up a massive, kind of point of contention that comes up all the time, which is that they need to change the gloves, the gloves that the UFC currently use, which they make themselves, which is why they're not going to change it. Don't really hinder straight fingers, which is what causes all these eye pokes. We got a picture up here that is a picture of the old Pride gloves compared to UFC gloves. You can see the Pride gloves didn't allow you to straighten your fingers. You can still grapple, you can still grab. It didn't allow you to stretch your fingers, so you couldn't. It really limited the eye poking. Again, this comes up pretty much anytime there's an eye poke in a fight. It'll never change because, like I said, the UFC makes their own gloves. There actually is a MMA coach. I'm blanking on his name right now. Trevor Whitman, who made some ONX gloves that he pitched to the UFC that looked kind of like the old Pride gloves, but UFC wanted the patent. He said, screw you. So gloves aren't going to change.
A new one then.
Yeah, because it would cost them money. That's why. But yeah, so unfortunately that happened. So I'm curious to see where this goes. I know Leon Edwards says he deserves a title shot. My question is, can you give a title shot to a guy that his breaking of the rules caused the fight to be a no contest? I don't know how you can do that. But the big thing is, hopefully Bilal Muhammad makes a full recovery. From what I've seen, he's gonna be okay. I know there was
he's okay.
Questions about is he gonna be able to see out of the eye? From everything I'd see, he's gonna be okay, so that's good. Hopefully they can run this fight back. But the rest of the card, full of some knockouts, man. Ryan Spann with a 1-minute TKO over Misha Serkinov. Dan Ige with a 1-punch knockout of Gavin Tucker. I think that fight was 20 seconds long. Davey Grant had a knockout on Jonathan Martinez. Just a lot of real good, interesting knockouts. And then I did just want to bring up in the first fight on the main card, Eric Anders, second week in a row, technically second fight in a row on the main shows, ends with an illegal knee. He hits a illegal knee to the head of Darren Stewart, who was down at the time. I really just want to bring this up because let me see if we can find that. Do we have the?
I got it right here.
Oh, you got it. So you can see he had made a tweet last week saying, making fun of Petr Yan for losing the fight with a illegal knee to the head. Eric Anders goes out, loses the exact same way a week later, and Yan claps back at him. So watch out what you're saying when you're sending tweets out.
Still keep the score out there.
Out there. But all in all, solid fight. Again, solid card. A couple weird fights, but definitely an enjoyable card. And Ronnie mentioned the news, some big news that came out here right before we jumped on and started prepping for the show. Dana White announced that they will be having at UFC 261 in Jacksonville. They will be having full capacity there for the Usman Masvidal rematch. Of course, we'll talk more about that as it goes along. But big news out there from you, and of course, it's in Florida.
Of course,
yes. Florida always.
Hey, with all the money they save on the gloves, and now getting 15,000 fans in there, profit. Profit. Big
there
profit.
we go. We all know Dana. He wants that money. Cocaine ain't cheap.
Cocaine is not cheap. I think I might have wiped that one out. I have to add it back in.
No. Oh well, that's all right. It served its purpose.
It had a good. No, it's not over. All right, it will come back. But yeah,
that clip isn't cheap.
Not super thrilled about the main event here, but whatever. It is going to be nice to see fans there. It's always different with fans as far as the energy goes, and I think it will be nice as long as it's relatively safe. Probably some people that are vaccinated there, but Florida also YOLO. So they're just gonna.
Yeah.
I wish I had the Florida tattoo guy right now.
Isn't that stitched onto their flag? Is YOLO?
Yeah, I think so. There's an amendment in the, being proposed to add that to the state flag, YOLO. Or just adopt this one. This could be the Florida flag.
That's true. I think that is the Tallahassee City flag, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. But will be nice, just to see fans, and we're going to see more. Even here in California, they're opening it up. Limited tiers as far as like what tier you're in for infection rates and things like that. Currently, San Diego is rolling into the red tier, so by the time baseball gets here, hopefully they're still there, and we get some fans out here at some Padre games. But always just makes it a little bit more normal, just hearing any kind of actual fan noise, not the piped in noise, where then you see like, okay, but all the seats are tarped over, so now I'm just confused. I don't. It's not the same. But looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing how that UFC goes off, and hopefully, again, knock on table, there's not any kind of like infection problems afterwards. But hey, let Florida deal with it. They're the ones that want to go full bore. So we'll see what happens. Be safe out there. But thank you guys for joining us. We will be back with you on Wednesday. Once again, before Wednesday will be your final chance to fill out your bracket, join the group, have a chance at winning the spectacular shirt. And we look forward to competing with all of you in the bracket challenge. Tyler, anything else you got before we get out of here?
No. Again, just make sure you guys sign up for that Yahoo ID 24638. No password needed, no entry fee needed. Jump on in there, make your predictions. I know I filled mine out initially, but I will undoubtedly change it probably 10 or 12 times over the next couple days. We'll get into the matchups on Wednesday. But
I haven't had time to fill mine out yet because I have a very complicated system that I have to set up. Also, I don't have a dartboard or a blindfold yet. So once I have that set up, then we'll be good.
I was assuming you didn't like how South Park imagines the economy's done. Just you have that board with all the possibilities, and you just cut a chicken's head off and wait and see where it lands.
All right.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back here Wednesday. Talk a little more. We love you guys. You know the drill. Keep the fire.
Keep that fire.